Hey guys, Steven Savelli here from #NerdSwag, and I want to welcome you to the first ever Staple Stash. So what I'm going to do in these comic book reviews is I'm going to just try to do the best non-spoiler review that I could do while also making you interested to buy the comic by telling you things about it that don't give stories away. I'll give it my best shot. I mean, over time, I will be making some adjustments to these comic book reviews, but for right now, we're gonna kind of go with it. And based on your feedback, I'll change some things that you don't like and add things that you want to hear and stuff like that. All right, so for this first ever Staple Stash, I'm gonna just go over 2 comics that I bought last week. I actually bought 7, but I'm going to go over the 2 I like the most just to give you a vibe for the show. And I'm going to do a longer review this Saturday or Sunday to go over all the comics I bought yesterday. The 26th? I mean, I say yesterday, but this is on YouTube forever. So yesterday was March 26th, 2014. I'm reviewing 2 comics from March 19th, 2014. I've been talking too long already, and I wanted my first show to be perfect, but it's not going to be. So let's just get going. The first comic I'm going to talk about today is, boom, Thor, God of Thunder, number 20. This is written by Jason Aaron and with art by Asad Ribic. And this comic really has a few characters in it that are noteworthy. Right now we have Thor, the God of Thunder, in present time. What Jason Aaron has been doing lately in this run of Thor is he's been writing about Thor in the past, Thor in the present, and Thor in the future. So he's got 3 continuities going at once, and he's tying them all together whenever he can based on one similar theme. Right now we have The Last Days of Midgard. This is part 2 of 5. And this is talking about the last days of Midgard. It's talking about the death of the earth. So right now what we have going on currently is we got Thor in present time dealing with a corporation called Roxxon, and they're ran by their CEO, Dario Ager, and he's killing the planet. He owns a company that basically, by destroying and killing the planet, he will monetize from that and make money. One of the weirdest things that he's doing is he's trying to kill all the fish in the world so that his artificially grown fish will be bought by everyone because there's no more fish in the world. So his fish growing in tanks are the only ones you can get. Pretty crazy idea, right? So he's basically he's throwing shark fish into the oceans to eat all the fish. He's genetically modified bears so that they gorge and eat themselves to death. They basically don't get full. So he's genetically engineering these bears. Oh man, this is perfect already. He's genetically engineering these bears, throwing them in Canada, near rivers, so they eat all the salmon. Oh man, it's outrageous, but it's awesome at the same time. Thor has this fling with this girl named Roz Solomon, and she works for S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's part of their brand new environmental action team. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s never had an environmental team, and now they do. Captain Planet team? No, it's just Roz. Thor's got the hots for her. She's not interested in Thor, which is weird because he's a god. She's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You think she'd be, but she's playing hard to get, and Thor's trying to show off, and it's fun, and they're teaming together to stop this Roxxon guy from destroying the world in present times. He has an alias of the Minotaur, and you'll have to read to find out why he has that alias. It's pretty cool, and it might be exactly what you're thinking, and it might not. Anyways, now what future Thor is doing, as you can see by the cover of this comic, is if you can see it, what he's doing is he's having a run-in with Galactus. So present day Thor dealing with the destruction of the world by this crazy CEO that wants to kill it to to profit from it. Future Thor, many millennia from now, is basically on a dust Earth. There's no people, there's no rivers, there's no trees, there's no anything. The Earth, Midgard, is dead, and he's there with his granddaughters. Basically, just he misses it. He misses what Earth used to be like. He's now the All-Father. He's gray, got big old beard. He looks just like Odin, but he's Thor. And he has only one arm. His second arm's gone, and he basically uses the Destroyer's arm and attaches it onto his. And he's a badass old dude. Anyway, so what he's dealing with is Galactus shows up on Midgard while he's there, and Galactus starts eating the Earth because, you know, that's what he does. He's eaten millions or who knows, billions or trillions of planets in his lifetime, and Galactus is coming back to Earth even though it's dead to eat everything he can from it, because it is the one planet that has caused him trouble while he's been alive. This puny little rock of Earth. Every time he goes to eat it, he gets stopped. So now he's back after he knows everything's dead to basically consume it and get his revenge on the Earth. And it just so happens, of course, it's a comic book, that Thor is there when Galactus shows up. So they don't fight in this comic, but Thor starts a verbal conversation with Galactus to basically convince him to stop because there's no need to eat the planet because there's nothing there. And Galactus gets stoked because now he has somebody to fight, because just to eat Earth without anyone fighting for Earth is not fun, because that was the whole point, is that he wants revenge on the Earth. So basically in Thor 21 there's gonna be a battle between the two. Check out some of these panels of Galactus and Thor done by Asad Ribic. It's they're pretty sweet. I love the coloring. I love the coloring that Asad Ribic does. It's kind of like a oh man, just it feels so organic and fresh, and it's bright, but it's so dark, and it's dull, but it's so vivid at the same time, and it's cool. Here's a picture of what Thor as the All-Father looks like. He's pretty sweet. Got the eye patch. I forgot about the eye patch. Yep, that's Thor. God of Thunder in the future. Anyway, I'll try to wrap this up quick. Jason Aaron is destroying Thor God of Thunder. This is easily my favorite run out right now. If I could convince anybody to buy comics, I would tell them to go buy Thor God of Thunder, Jason Aaron, number 1 through number 20. You will love it. Love it. The first comic run was so great. He introduced this villain called Gore the God Butcher, and it's just a fun read. I would give the writing on this book alone a 4.5, and I would give the art by Asad Ribic a 5 out of 5. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next from Marvel, we have Daredevil, number 1. Bada boom. We have writing by Mark Waid, and we have art by Chris Samney. Now, this is Daredevil number 1, but this is Marvel. They're doing this Marvel Now relaunch thing. Now they're doing all new Marvel Now number 1s, and it's a little corny, but it's okay. But can't be mad at Daredevil number 1. And the reason is because this is a new story. The last Daredevil run that just ended basically ended with Matt Murdock, Daredevil, losing his lawyer office in New York, and he ousted himself as Daredevil. He basically said, "Hey guys, I am Matt Murdock. I am Daredevil," which is pretty sweet. It is kind of fun, dramatic, exciting. Not everyone, of course, but tons of people assume that Matt Murdock was Daredevil. He's always kind of like not denied it, kind of like gives that little smile of maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But he just comes out and straight up admits he's Matt Murdock and basically decides to leave the city of New York. So in this book, number 1, great jumping on point is because now he's in San Francisco and he's opening up a lawyer office in San Francisco. And Mark Waid, this guy does an amazing job of writing this character. I love all the scenes in here where he's describing being kind of a detective, right? We all like Daredevil when he's being a detective, but now that people know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, they're going to his lawyer office asking him to be a detective. So this book starts with him going in to look at evidence for a kidnapping of a little girl, and he describes the room so beautifully. It's so cool how Mark Waid does it. It's almost like you would have to have heightened senses to know how to describe it this well. And he really just captures the character great. What's really the theme of this is him getting used to being in California. So we got Matt Murdock here, swinging from building to building, and he's having a hard time because there's not a bunch of tall buildings like there are in New York. They're all spaced apart, and he's trying to swing on power lines and swing on palm trees, and he's struggling. He's on struggle mode, and he's got someone in his ear basically telling him directions to go and what streets to turn on because he doesn't know the city like he knew New York. And this is basically a whole rescue mission and him getting acclimated to San Francisco. Don't want to spoil too much, but there's so much humanity in Mark Waid's writing of Daredevil. It feels so real, like a real guy experiencing these real things. It obviously has some unrealistic things that happen, but it's grounded so much by humanity and human emotion and the human experience, and it's so cool to read. And it's awesome having a character that's blind, because in comics, you don't get a lot of descriptive writing. Well, you do, but you usually see it in the panels. What's great about Mark Waid writing this Daredevil is you get to see it and you get to hear it. Hear it. Oh man. These aren't the new digital comics that have sounds. You don't hear it, but it feels like you're in the environment because it's being described to you so well. Anyways, we'll cut this off. We got we're deep into this a lot longer than I thought it would take, because I'm just so excited about these two comics. That's why I'm going over them. They're the comics I got on the 19th last week. They were all right, but I just want to kick this off with two Hallmark comics on the shelves right now. I would give the writing on this book a 5 out of 5. Trust me, all my grades will not be this high. I can promise you we will see some 1s and we will see some 2s and we will see some 3s, but Thor God of Thunder, 4.5 out of 5. Daredevil #1, 5 out of 5 on the writing. For the art, I'd give it a 4, and I might knock it down to a 3. I showed you guys a panel earlier, but there is some cool stuff in here. Check this out. This is just a great panel layout. Super cool panel layout. Bright colors, nice contrast. That's why I would consider giving it a 4 out of 5. But some panels are kind of cartoony and simple, and they're not very detailed. The artist, like, I see how Chris Samney is actually doing that on purpose, but to me, it's just not my taste and not what I'm into. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today. We got Thor God of Thunder and Daredevil, and yeah. In the future, we'll be going over a lot more comics every single week. I'll try to make these long so you can listen to these while you're working, listen to these while you're at school, listen to these while you're just kicking back. And hopefully I can give you guys awesome suggestions on what comics to buy, what comics to avoid. And hopefully you can trust what I'm spitting out to you. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Saturday or Sunday when I post the comic book haul from yesterday, March 26th, and have a great night.